Some stories just make me wonder, is this the world's worst criminal? Growing up in the 1980s, we were frequently taught, don't talk to strangers, don't accept rides or gifts from strangers, and report suspicious behavior immediately. It was originally fueled by several high-profile child abduction cases, but some wondered if it did little more than create a sense of generalized fear and anxiety in children. The posters that hung in school cafeterias and classrooms reinforced the idea that danger always looked like a stranger in a van, someone obviously sinister, waiting near our schools and playgrounds. Nowadays, we are far more aware of how many of these threats are actually much closer to home. And in some cases, you don't even have to open a door to let them in. People love to play games, myself included. The glow of the screen, controller in hand, wearing a headset with great sound and that cool-looking mic, it all seems so fun and harmless. But sometimes, behind the avatar of another player on your screen, is someone watching and waiting. Today, many of these digital playgrounds are becoming what we feared back in the 1980s, places for strangers to introduce themselves to our children, and sometimes with nefarious intent. On October 17, 2024, in Pensacola, Florida, the Escambia County Sheriff's Office received a troubling call from a children's advocacy center called Gulf Coast Kids House. The report involved a 10-year-old girl who was living in a nearby foster home and who allegedly dropped a 2-month-old infant onto the tile floor. The baby suffered serious injuries, and both the foster parents and another older foster child living in the home made it clear they did not believe that this was an accident. When the 10-year-old was asked how she dropped the baby, she stated that the infant had become fussy, so she picked him up and carried him to the kitchen to find an adult and accidentally dropped him. The foster father quickly picked up the infant and rushed them to Sacred Heart Hospital for treatment and care. Luckily, that fast response ultimately saved the baby's life. When the 10-year-old was questioned further, she began to share more of her reasoning behind the incident, and with those comments came a shock. She stated that if she didn't drop and kill the baby, that she would be killed instead. An in-depth investigation was launched by the police, with the foster family being questioned at length. They stated that their belief was that the young girl was coerced to hurt the infant by someone that she was speaking to online. One of the adults and the oldest foster child had both seen messages that the 10-year-old received on a child's online game chat feature. Roblox is an online gaming platform developed by Roblox Corporation that allows users to play games they create themselves or that were created by other users. According to the company, their monthly player base includes half of all American children under the age of 16, though some allege that they inflate those numbers. What isn't debated is that the platform hosts literally millions of user-created games, officially referred to as experiences. As the game has proven to be a huge hit for children, it has also seemingly attracted some of the seedier elements of society. A report released by Hindenburg Research alleges Roblox has become a, and I quote, X-rated pedophile hellscape, exposing children to grooming, pornography, violent content, and extremely abusive speech. And that is all despite the company making efforts to install more safety features. Children are being groomed on Roblox. However, it doesn't stop there. There have also been cases of kidnapping and sexual assault that have been facilitated in part by the platform. A BBC report from 2022 details how a 13-year-old girl in Kansas was reportedly kidnapped by a 33-year-old man she met on Roblox. Thankfully, she would survive the ordeal and return home, but not without experiencing unimaginable criminal acts. A similar situation was reported by People magazine in early 2025, where a 10-year-old was taken by a 27-year-old man that she met on Roblox. The girl was found in his car 4 hours away from her home. But the 2-month-old infant that was dropped was not someone that could even use Roblox. How and why was this baby targeted? Investigators quickly traced the messages that the foster family told them about to a woman named Tara Alexis Sykes. In those messages, Sykes encouraged the unnamed 10-year-old to, quote, drown the infant in the bathtub, burn the infant with scalding water, or drop the infant on the floor to kill the infant. And that's according to the sheriff's office. But she didn't stop there. She also instructed the girl on how to kill her entire foster family in graphic detail that included not only how to murder her family members, but burn their bodies in their own beds. The oldest child verified that she discovered some bed sheets that were coated with a chemical, and she also found a lighter nearby. When the 10-year-old was questioned about this, she stated that she didn't have the nerve to follow through with the detailed instructions once she had coated the sheets. Sheriff Chip Simmons would say he was truly disturbed by the allegations and the thought that anyone could not only think like this, but instruct someone else to carry out these acts. He called Sykes truly evil. When Sykes was taken into custody, it was found that this wasn't her first run-in with the law, and her husband was also involved in some criminal activities as well. On May 28, 2024, deputies responded to the Sykes home at the request of the Department of Children and Families regarding their 14-year-old daughter, who was 31 weeks pregnant at the time, and she appeared to be suffering from malnutrition. She'd become pregnant by a 20-year-old man that the couple knew. It's been reported that as a punishment, the Sykes parents were restricting food from their daughter and their unborn grandchild, leaving the young mother malnourished and starving. At the same time, they were allegedly extorting money from the young father-to-be's grandmother. Sykes and her husband, James, told the woman that if she didn't pay them, they would kill her grandson. She had paid them $10,000 up to that point to keep him alive. Tara Sykes is now being held without bond. She's charged with cruelty toward children in the case of her own daughter. And for the Roblox crimes, she's facing 4 counts: attempted first-degree premeditated murder, 2 counts of solicitation to commit first-degree premeditated murder, and 1 count of child abuse. At the time of this recording, Tara Sykes remains innocent until proven guilty, and her trial is still many months away. So, when are our children safe? The truth is, they're only as safe as the walls, real or digital, that we build around them. The once overstated threat of stranger danger from the 1980s is essentially now a reality, one that walks right through the walls of our homes using Wi-Fi. If you're a parent, look into tools like Bark or NetNanny, which monitor risky online behavior. But most of all, keep up good communication with your children and remind them, if they don't know someone in real life, no matter how many times they've played games with them online, they are still a stranger. And they just might be the world's worst criminal.